Good evening, my Roslins and Rosikins. Mother is back, and I want to talk about how the Exotical space has helped me to embrace my admixtures. So, as you know, I've talked on my channel multiple times about my admixture background. I even have a playlist dedicated to my beauty origins, which are those of African heritage, but I consider that more so Negro. That's me, though. European heritage and also Native American heritage. And so I want to talk about the fact that having Native and European admixtures as a brown to dark skin exotical in the exotical space has been very uplifting. Like, I don't feel isolated because of it. In fact, I feel very empowered more so. Okay, now let mother explain, okay? So ever since I was a little girl, I was always in love with the movie Pocahontas. Yes, I'm bringing Disney into this, and yes, I know this is probably off topic, but seriously on topic. Just listen up. And I've always felt drawn to the Native American spirituality. As you all know, Mother at one point was practicing hoodoo. Okay, shout out. Anyway, but I'm no longer doing that. But the point is that it's literally in my blood. I don't know what to tell you. It's literally in my blood. Um, and so I will never forget that scene in Pocahontas when Grandma Willow was literally singing, "Listen with your heart, you will understand." It's so beautiful. I just love it. And so I was like so entranced by that scene. And then Colors of the Wind. Oh, Pocahontas, you're gorge girl. Anyway, so the point is that I don't know. And oh, okay, shout out to you, especially my Roslins and Roskins. If you know Balto, the movie Balto with the wolf. Oh my God, Balto too was giving mad Native American spirituality. The song "Who You Are" and then "Grand Design." Oh my God, and wolves. Oh my God, I swear to God, wolves are literally like my spirit animal. I don't care what no one says. And so for me, I was always drawn to that. And then think of Twilight. Oh my God, New Moon. And then you have Jacob. As you know, I made a video. I am Team Jacob. It's giving. And I don't know, just Native American history, tribes. It's just giving part of my ancestry because it is. And so I don't know. And then I remember I went through this phase listening to Dane Calloway, and he talked about that Native Americans are originally Black people, which I believe is true. Though I feel like they have more of African Blackness origins than they would Negro origins in that sense. If you know, you know there's a difference of bloodline. Okay, anyway, we're not gonna get into that. Um, but yeah, I love. But for the sake of what everyone has been taught, we're gonna say African, okay, okay, Afrocentric, etc., etc. The point though is this: when it comes down to Native Americans, there definitely is a lot of controversy with the skin tone and the featurism possessed with the Native American culture because there's a wide array. Now, Mother believes something that some people might find controversial, but really not because science backs it up. All life started in Africa. If all life starts in Africa, I'm damn sure know that Adam and Eve respectfully, was not giving Mary Antoinette, okay, and King Williams or something, or King Henry from Europe, respectfully. And so for me, what I do know based off of that very simple explanation is that they had some melanin. And that being said, since the original people were melanated people, hello. Um, of course, Native Americans would most likely, as well as other different cultures that start off more browner than usual, would have a say, or as you can say, an inkling, a claim to those communities to some degree, as an originator at least. So, what I find very interesting with the Native American culture, though, is the spirituality above everything else and the beauty. Oh my God, Native Americans are so beautiful. And when I say Native Americans, I'm talking about those who are darker and those who are lighter, just the whole entire array of shades of Native Americans. Okay? They're just gorgeous people. And so I'm proud. I'm proud to have them within my bloodline and to have admixtures of those of Native Americans from North America. And I was talking to my auntie, and she had informed me, and I posted this on my community tab as well. She had informed me that the Native American is, one could say, a tribe that I most likely have a claim to via my, I believe, great grandfather would be the, how do you say it? Comanche? Again, I'm like still discovering my ancestry, as you know. I was adopted, and so I'm always on my journey to self discovery and claiming every part of me. But it's the Comanche tribe. That's spelled Comanche, and tribe. But they literally are native to the United States, which I find so interesting. And then my European admixtures, I talked about this before, which I find so freaking interesting. Because at one point I was into Norse mythology as well. God knows, just a little bit though. Like it's giving Thor, etc. But I was more so into Freya. Freya is amazing. I know, I really have been interesting, haven't I? So I have England and Northwestern Europe. I have Germanic Europe. I have Sweden. I have Iceland, which I find very interesting. So at one point, I had Norwegian or Norway, but I don't anymore. I don't know. Their ancestry DNA test, the regions can change, which I find so interesting. But what I found interesting was the Germanic Europe, England, and Northwestern Europe. It's giving in Sweden. That's so interesting. You know that song, Don't You Worry, Child? Heaven's got a plan for you. I forgot who it's by. Don't you worry, child. So, Swedish House Mafia, duh. Okay, that might be why I like that song so much, because I'm part Sweden. Anyway, moving on. But Iceland was interesting. It's giving, I don't know what it's giving. I need to research that more. Um, but Germanic Europe I thought was very interesting and different. Germany. Okay, okay. Chocolate. Chocolate. Let me stop. Okay. Let me not. Okay, but I will say I like the goulash. I love beef goulash. It's good. But I'm vegan now. So when I wasn't vegan, I used to love eating that. So I'll make a vegan goulash. It's giving. So my thing is this though. What mother is trying to say though is that being in exotical and being part of the exotical space, all these different things I would never have really discovered about myself and understood to the point where I want to explore the culture, the people, the fashion, the as you could say, spiritual practices, and whatnot. And also, I feel like the beauty standards and the beauty like culture. Like I remember I did videos a lot about the European admixture and how a lot of things that I learned from my European admixture and the culture of the Europeans is health, thinness, etc., especially for women, having healthy skin, healthy hair, long, healthy hair. And along with Native Americans, like herbalism is a big thing. And also, I used to do that a lot with my hoodoo because hoodoo is made of Christianity, African American spirituality, African spirituality, as you could say, and also okay, Native American, ancestry, magic, etc. I have all three to qualify for that. I had everything I needed, literally. I was raised, as you know, Pentecostal. There were also rumors that Bishop Mason could have been practicing hoodoo at the time a little bit too. Don't quote me on that. There's like been people who have speculated that he was like a hoodoo rootsman as well, using spirituality along with his Christianity. Again, a lot of this stuff is so controversial. Again, I don't practice this anymore. I remember I went down my path of voodoo as well. not getting initiated and all that stuff, but just more so exploring that part of me, because I also have a high African content in what do you call it? Benin and Togo in Nigeria, two birthplaces of voodoo technically, but actually no, not two. Nigeria practices voodoo like with the Aruba or Yoruba. I also have ancestry in Yoruba land, which is so interesting. But in regards to Benin and Togo is the birthplace of voodoo. So all these different things, it really, really helped me to explore the cultural beauties and spirituality of like where I come from. I was already on my spiritual journey, but learning my ancestry, understanding more so cultural things as an exotical really amped that up at the time. As you know now, I lean and am a Negro. And so I feel more drawn to the cultural, I guess you could say faith of Negroes, which is more of Hebrew faith. So it's different for me now, but I cannot forget like where I came from and the people I come from on all spectrums that shaped me to be the woman that I am today, spiritually and physically, right? My aesthetic and all that, and culture wise. So I just find it so interesting, my Rosalynds and Rosalykins, because being in this all community helped me to see that you don't have to be biracial to embrace like your admixture. Honey, it's literally flowing through your veins where you come from. Even if it's one fucking percent for an admixture for that specific group, it's still part of you. Out of all the different groups you could have within you, you have that one. And you should embrace that shit. Okay? Okay. So I say all this to say that people are always going to be speculating, especially when you're brown, cis, dark, stands, alcohol, if you have any validity to any other, um, as you can say, cultures, communities outside of the black community because you are highly melanated. And the answer is fuck yes, I do. Okay, I do. Okay, I do. So please miss me with it. And for those who try to invalidate our admixtures because we're not mixed enough for them, I don't really care. Again, whatever you want to categorize us as, we are who we are. We know the power that runs through our veins from our ancestors, black and others, okay? And we are still beautiful, accomplished, intelligent women who are sought after more than the average woman because we have pretty privilege and because we're exoticals. We're on a whole different beauty level from your average person. And therefore, speaking, whether you want to identify us as one thing or another, we are always going to get the same privileges we've always gotten because the world treats us different, because we have a lot of different privileges and privileged plights. And so, that being said, if you cannot relate, may the good Lord bless you. Can you move on and leave us alone? And if you can, welcome to the Pretty Girl as Exotical, Pretty Girl Club, as Exotical Night would say, or in my case, welcome my Rosalinds or Roskins. Um, I just wanted to touch on that because a lot of times people be really trying it. They really try it. They really try it. Okay? They're like, oh, you're just black. No, 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 no. It's very rare to find someone that's just one thing. And even if you are one race, you have different communities within that racial makeup that makes you. So let's say like you're 100% African. You still have different, as you could say, cultures within your African lineage or DNA or ancestry, right? You might have some Nigerian, you might have some Benin and Togo, you might have some Mali. You know, it's just so many different things you have mixed up within that quote unquote African ancestry and heritage. So that's why I just say, like, when it comes down to understanding yourself, and your admixtures as a brown to dark skin alcohol, really truthfully, these all communities where you want to explore that because you meet so many different beautiful women with different, as you could say, cultural backgrounds and racial backgrounds that really help to solidify your inner knowing and encourage you to explore yourself as you should, period. And with that, Mother is going to say, ciao.